the Gold Snitch boosters. So that's just a relatively new product out, so I've had to play with that. So we'll do that. And then Gold Rat's brought some new stuff out. What else have we got? So there's a whole stack of stuff going on tonight. So tonight's prize is a Garrett Gold Pan Kit. Let me pull up the picture that doesn't disappear into the background here. So that's the Gold Pan Kit we're giving away tonight, just a 3-pan kit. Snuffer bottle, tweezers, vial, and it's a fantastic kit, and it's a great way to start if you do want to start into gold. So Lisa's here, Michael, Trisha, Trevor, Graham, everyone's here. Great stuff. So to win this prize tonight, you just need to share. Now you don't have to share it to a group. You can share it with a friend, or but share the prize, and the randomizer will draw that at about in about an hour's time, and we'll draw that then. So share away, folks, and we can go from there. Okay, so where will we begin? Let's begin with Gold Snitch. So Gold Snitch, for those that don't know, Gold Snitch is what they call a booster, okay? And what it does, it's really a sound enhancer that helps, and there's a number of them on the market. This has just been released, okay? It's sort of middle of the range when it comes to price-wise, and what it does is it enhances the audio. So they're normally used on pulse induction machines. This Gold Snitch one can be used on VLF machines. And it enhances the audio. So those small targets, this is the idea of them, the small targets sound like bigger targets. And that's basically what they're designed to do. So, so that's what the Gold Snitch is designed to do. A lot of the boosters are the same. So there's boosters and enhancers. Pat makes a good point here, and we'll go into that in a lot more detail in another show. So that's what this machine does. So it just runs on batteries, and it makes a smaller sound better. So Gold Snitch is actually giving one of these away tonight. You have to go to their Facebook page, find the post, and comment on it. And it's going to be drawn during the show tonight, and we'll announce it here. So that's happening tonight. Gold Snitch. So that's Gold Snitch. So tonight we're going to talk about starting out detecting. Now, there's a number of people wanting to get into it, into detecting, and the trick with it is to work out what you want to do. That's the first step. That's the number one thing, is to work out what you want to do, what you want to go looking for. If you're into old army relics, buying a $10,000 machine is completely the wrong thing to do. So the most expensive machine is not necessarily the best machine, because if you're looking for relics, you don't want a pulse induction machine that doesn't tell you what the target is. So that's my first tip, is buy the right machine for the right job. Right, Denise is here, John's here, who else did I say? Trisha there, yes. Lots and lots of people here tonight. So once you've worked out what you want to do, whether you want to go looking for gold, or whether you want to go looking for relics, or whether you want to go beach detecting, or whether you want to do this, you need to talk to someone who knows what they're talking about. I would probably suggest a trusted friend or a retailer that tends not to be biased, that sells all different types of machines. You can go into certain shops and they only sell one type of machine, and they will tell you this is crap and this is good, and vice versa. So just be a little bit careful with that. There's a Holden and Ford thing involved here. But yeah, try and get an unbiased opinion and look at all the different detectors, and just weigh them up and see what motives people have for selling it. So Donnie's here. G'day, Donnie. We've got some big news to announce tonight, and Donnie's wholly responsible for this. But yes, so there'll be. We've got some. In fact, I might even just jump into that now. So there's very few things I get super excited about if it's not gold. But over the last couple of weeks, I don't know whether everyone's noticed it, but if you're part of the Queensland Gold Prospecting site, you will have on Facebook, you will have seen that they're putting together this event, the Nugget Hunt. Now, this looks like it could be a yearly event. So it's going to happen on, date? The 29th and 30th of September. So the end of September. And it's a weekend camping in the goldfields with competitions and all different. Exactly what's happening hasn't quite been worked out yet. But I would expect there to be some sort of token hunt. There'll be prizes given away. We're going to do a little bit of sponsorship. We're trying to work all that out. But it's Queensland's own Nugget Hunt, gold prospecting weekend, which Queensland has been dying out for forever. So, did someone just say that was the Bathurst weekend? Well, I didn't know that. So what you need to do is get involved with it. You go to the Queensland Gold Prospecting website, Facebook page, not website. Join Queensland Gold Prospecting, because that's part of that covers the insurance. Donnie, who's organising it all, has set it up all legally, and insurance and all the rest of it sort of thing. So you have to be part of that Queensland Gold Prospecting Facebook page to be covered by the insurance. So you've got to go and do that. And then they've got an event on their page, which is the Nugget Hunt, and join that so we can we can get numbers, and it will be limited numbers. If we get 300 or 400 people, we'll have to close it down. So you just bear that in mind. So it's not Bathurst weekend. It's the first weekend. It's the weekend before Bathurst. Geez, yes. So, So that's good then. So go over, join Queensland Gold Prospecting. I've put the link in the comments, right at the top of the comments. So make sure you go over there, join Queensland Gold Prospecting. If you want to come that weekend, make sure you join the event, and it will be a phenomenal weekend. There is people travelling from Victoria, I know of. There is people, we're talking about, I think there's some guys from WA, but I don't think they're travelling over especially for it. Just a phenomenal weekend. It's going to be a huge success. We're going to make sure it's a huge success. So, yes. So, what we're going to try and do that weekend is we're going to try, and I don't know whether this will work because I need really good reception, but we're going to try and do the show. We won't do a Monday night live show. We'll do a Saturday night live show, and and we'll do the show live from there. And what we'll do is we'll get a whole stack of people out of the crowd, and we might just have 5 minutes or 10 minutes with a few different people talking about who knows. Yeah, Dustin's just posted the link there. So yeah, get onto that group and join the group, and it will be a cracking weekend. And we'll have there'll be prizes there. There'll be all sorts of things. It'll be a phenomenal weekend. We'll be talking about that every week between now and then we'll be probably doing that show. We'll do the show live from there on the Saturday night. So it will be phenomenal. So I'm so excited. We've had Lanakuri Gold Bash. Look, there's another one here. The 150 Welcome Year celebration, that's happening. There's all sorts of things happening, but it's all in Victoria or South Australia. Now it's time for Queensland to have a crack at things. So, yes. So Lanakuri Gold Bash is Bathurst weekend. So it's the weekend before Lanakuri. So there's tons of time to drive between the Queensland one and the Lanakuri one. So if you can do both. So that's the important thing. So, yes. So, so if you want to... Oh, hey, it's Saturday. Nice work, Steve. Nice work at all. Tonight's background is from Steve. This is his family property at Gympie. And because Steve has so graciously sent me some photos, he gets a little bag of pay dirt. I'll send that out to you after the show, well, tomorrow morning, Steve. So thanks very much for sending those photos. He sent me 3 or 4 good photos, and it was they are just beautiful photos. The property his family must own is incredible. So it's beautiful there. So you can imagine running a sluice in that creek, that's for sure. So, if Dustin's still on, can someone share that link to the Queensland Gold Prospecting group? That would be great. Yes, and Gem Q makes a point here. There's the Ararat Gold Dig, October 2021. I'm just waiting to get a graphic like that from that so we can put that up there. So, right, there's the other link. There's the link back up. Daryl's put that up. Thank you, Daryl. Love your work. So, that weekend, don't be thinking that weekend is only for experienced prospectors either. If you've never done gold, or if you want to learn how to do it, you've got a machine, you don't think it's suitable, but that's all you've got, come up, and there'll be a lot of us there. Myself will be there. There'll be stacks and stacks of people. The lineup is not quite confirmed yet, but there'll be a lot of people there, and to show you how to use your machine, show you how to read the ground, what to look for, what not to look for. So it's going to be a great weekend to get into gold prospecting. So, yes, so that's that's that weekend. That weekend will be very, very good. So, a couple of people have just noticed here that the Gold Snitch group's closed group requires admin verification. I believe admin is there on the site ready to verify you. So if you do want to join, go over there. They will get through it fairly quickly, sort of thing. So, yes, that's fine. Yes. So yes, you can get into, Stuart's just confirmed that, you can get into the Gold Snitch group. So, while we're on a bit of distraction from our topic tonight, I've got to share one of the coolest things. Dustin's been on tonight, and Dustin, let me get out of the road here. Dustin does this, and this is one of my favourite products from Gold Wrap. Okay, now this is an 8-inch recirculating sluice, a power sluice if you like. You run it with a 3,000 gallon bilge pump, yeah? And I just love it. I use it virtually exclusively tonight. So, not tonight, but I use it virtually exclusively. I just love it. So it's a modular sluice. So you can take the legs off it and that header box off it and put a flare on it and use it in a creek. Dustin has designed this. This goes in that way into that sluice, and what it is, it's a classification screen. So as you're shoveling heavy rocks into there, you can wash it through this slot plate and take out your heavies, and your heavies will come up over the top here, and you can get rid of the heavies. And this plate sits up on top of above the sluice. So this is a very, very clever idea for people that want to use this, but don't want to use a high banker. So this virtually turns it into a high banker. The other beautiful piece about this is, and I've got to just interrupt myself here, Toby, I've got to say hello to Emily and Dylan. Nice to see you guys. Make sure your dad lets you have a go at that machine you bought. I'm sure he will. So, yes. But the other advantage of this is if you're working clayey area, this was the downside of this machine. It wouldn't break clay. Your clay would ball and roll down the sluice. The beauty of this, right, is that you can push the clay, you can rub the clay through this and it breaks the clay down to a degree. So just an amazing bit of gear, and the thought process that goes through that bloke's mind is just incredible to add this to the sluice, to that power sluice combo there. Just an amazing, like, Dustin amazes me with his thought process. Like, he probably won't, he probably gets a bit shy knowing Dustin, but his thought process to work this out is just incredible. I just love his thought process. So that's an incredible bit of gear to add to your 8-inch sluice. Well, you can add it to the 8-inch, 10-inch or 12-inch. So it's just a bolt-on bit, no troubles at all. It just sits in there, phenomenal. So people are asking, I've got something else to share too. People are asking how much this is. That's about $700, just over $700. These are about $50. So $750 and you get pay dirt. So you get a stack of pay dirt with it, sort of thing, if you buy it off us. So, yes, that's that. But I've got to show you something else. I hope the guys won't mind me sharing this. I'm sure they won't. So some long-time customers of mine had a sluice high banker set up at home, right? It wasn't one of these. They came in the other day and loved this and bought this, or bought the mat. So they bought the mat and put it in their sluice, okay? So let me put this photo up here. This, you see this gold here? This gold was what they missed out of a 30-litre bucket, so a 1.5 20-litre buckets. That's what they missed using the other sluice. Like, just an incredible amount of gold to be losing because you're not using the latest technology. You're not using this stuff, right? So my tip number one is get yourself, if you're running a sluice, right, get this mat, at least get this mat. And if you can't, if you can, go to the power sluice, or even go to the high banker, right? Because you are losing. This is what you're losing. Like, hang on, where is it? I'm getting excited here. But that was just out of 30 litres of gravel that was missed. So that speaks for itself. That's how good this gear is, and that's all fine. That's floated through, and the other sluice didn't find it. So yeah, so Gold Rat all the way. The more time I spend with Gold Rat and using their gear, the more I love it. So yes. Right, sorry guys, I went off a bit of a tangent there. I get excited about that Gold Rat gear, so it's just such clever gear. So just so we don't forget what's going on and gets me back on track, tonight's prize is a gold pan kit. Share to win. We'll do the randomizer in about 40 minutes. We'll do the randomizer. I can't even say it. And we'll pick up a random share, and you win the gold pan kit. Also, tonight we're giving away, well, we're not giving away, Gold Snitch is on their Facebook page, is giving away a Gold Snitch booster. So, yes, so go to their Facebook page, enter their comp. You do have to join and go through the little verification things. So, but they're doing that right now. So, sweet. All right. Okay. So I've just, yes. So that stuff, that matting there was Dream Mat. And you get it from, Gold Rat makes it here in Australia. So you get it from me, or you get it from Dustin. You get it to, yeah, you get it from one of us. So, yes. Yeah. And someone just said here, who's that? Sluice giveaway. Yeah, we might do a sluice giveaway. We've done them before, but we might do a sluice giveaway. We'll wait for another excuse to come out for the... we'll wait for something else to happen. I've got a funny feeling something else might happen shortly. Yes. So, Rodney asked a really good question here. If you've got an aggressive style digger, like an edge digger on you, would that be classified as a weapon? Legally, you have to have a purpose for it. So if you're in a park and you're digging holes, you've got a purpose for it. You can, they can't really book you for it. And let's be honest, if they want to be idiots or they want to be painful, they can. So, you know, there's a bit of common sense there. But but you have to have a purpose. Like, you can walk down the street, you can go into a supermarket with a machete if you want, as long as you've got a purpose for having that. That's the law. So as long as you've got a purpose, right? There's no purpose to go into a supermarket with a machete, but if you've got a purpose, you can carry whatever you want on you. So, so a digger in a park is not an issue. So, yes. Yeah, Lynn makes a good point. Lynn carries a big fishing knife when she goes fishing. No problem at all. You've got a purpose for it. So, job done. So, yeah. Yes. Right. Okay, let's get back onto this here. What was I talking about? I haven't got very far through this beginning detector thing, let alone a little bit about where to go. So, okay. So when you're selecting a detector, you need to think about what you're doing. So if you want to go gold prospecting, you really should get a machine that ground balances and tunes the ground out, that heavily mineralised ground out, so you're hearing the targets. So those machines tend to be a little bit dearer machines. And that's at a minimum. So they sort of go from about $700 up to about $10,000 and probably more. And everywhere in between. So those machines, that's what you need to do for gold prospecting. If you want to get into gold prospecting and you want to get into it the cheap way, get yourself a panning kit. Like a panning kit, you'll be surprised how much you can put through a panning kit. So get yourself a panning kit or pick yourself up a little sluice. That's the cheaper way to get into gold prospecting without wasting your money, sort of thing. You get a little pan kit, you head down to a creek like that in a fossicking area, you're bound to find gold. You'll actually find, starting out, you'll find more gold doing that than you will with a detector. So, yeah, because it takes a bit of training, bit of getting used to getting the detector. So, the other bit of advice, I've got lots of bits of advice, is to dig every single target. When you're starting, dig every single target. If you're not digging every single target, you're missing good targets. Unless you've done 100 hours on your machine, you probably don't know it well enough to leave stuff in the ground. So just keep digging targets. So, and you're going to find a lot of rubbish. You need to come to terms with that. So if you're finding a lot of rubbish, make sure you take the rubbish home with you. Don't just leave it there. Take it home with you. Take all the rubbish home with you. And then fill your holes in. Really, really, really simple, but vitally important that you fill your holes in. You can cut a nice plug in a park, but if it's dry and there's no moisture in the ground, that will just kill that grass. So you're probably best, if it's not dry, don't dig deep holes in the parks. Right, so, yes. Okay, who else have we got here? Mick and the Young Guns are here. Hello guys, Craig's here. Craig makes a good point. Dig everything. If you dig everything, you're not going to miss anything, and you're going to find a lot of gear, sort of thing. So, yeah, if you just dig everything, you can't go wrong. In the gold fields, you never stop digging everything. So, like, one of the biggest mistakes I see in the gold field, particularly with VLF machines, is people pay attention to what the target ID is, and they think that, oh no, I've only got to dig targets that are 40s, for instance. Well, in the gold fields, you're missing gold if you're doing that. You've got to dig every single target out in the gold fields, otherwise you're missing gold. So, because some of those small gold targets, little tiny gold nuggets, they will read up 00s, 01s, won't even read on the machine, unless you, and you'll just hear a sound, and that's what you got to dig. You got to dig every noise. So, yes. So that's the most important thing, is dig everything. And what I also see people doing is going 1,000,000 miles an hour, and when you look at how they swing, where's a blank piece of paper here? They swing like that, and this bit here, they've missed. This bit over here, they've missed. This bit over here, they've missed. This bit, you know, so you've got to overlap your swings. So you're covering every inch of that ground and just slow right down. So, yes. Craig asked the question here, if you're digging a grassy hole, I take it, yes. I cut what they call, I don't do a lot of parks, but I cut a hinge plug. So I'll cut all the way around the outside except for one little bit, and then I'll flap that over so it's still attached, and then I'll probably try and go fairly deep down in that plug, so there's a fair bit of soil left on the bottom of the plug. I don't just take the top bit of grass off because it'll die. So you try and get a bit of soil and then flip it up and leave it hinged attached. So, and normally your target's in that top bit. So yes. So that's how and maybe we need to do a video on plug digging in a park. So if it ever rains again, we might do that, because if I dig a hole over in the park here at the moment, it just, there's nothing there. So yeah. Oh, and there is Tony's here. Tony, Central Queensland, Detectress Metal Detecting Club. If you're into that, if you're in that area, go and talk to those guys. They are phenomenal. There's a lot of clubs around. There's the Central New South Wales Coast one too. Normally they put it up there too. So there's some very good clubs around, guys. So feel free to do that. So. Right, so people are asking lots of questions here about, and everyone's saying low and slow, low and slow. So Leslie, I'll skip, I've got a couple of more things here with detecting, but Leslie asked a good question here, can I detect in public spaces? Legally, oh there they are, Treasure Hunters New South Wales Central Coast Recovery Team, there they are. Leslie asked, can I detect in public spaces? Legally, you need permission of the owner to detect anywhere, okay? So what that means is it depends on who owns the park. Different councils do have different rules. Just next door to me here, I've got a big park that the circus uses, and people detect on it all the time. Just last week I saw a guy had got a warning from the council for detecting on that park because he's walking around with a 90 centimetre, like a tiger digger. So he got a warning and not to do that because someone had reported a bloke digging big holes. And the bloke said, well, show me the hole. And the ranger couldn't find a hole. So even though he got a warning. So you've just got to be careful, and it's place by place. So yes, most people will dig parks. Schools, you should ask permission. Where gold prospecting comes in, you have to have a fossicking permit in most areas. New South Wales, you don't, unless you need to go a year in the state forest. But then if you're to go on private property, you have to have certainly in Queensland, you have to have the landowner sign the back of the form. So, yes. So, let's just do a bit of a recap. For those that don't know, I'm Ben from Gold Diggers. Got a little shop here in Brisbane. And we do all sorts of detectors and magnet fishing magnets and sluices and all sorts of gear for your prospecting and treasure hunting adventures. Yes, so we may as well continue on with where to go. So in every state there's fossicking areas, or just about every state there's fossicking areas. It's a great place to go to start looking for gold. And that's probably the easiest place to start. So there is also a whole stack of, if you go to the mines department in your state, you can get a whole lot of information about old gold mines and all that, all sorts of mines, tin, copper, diamonds, all sorts of mines. So that sort of covers, and we do a lot on the show about gold prospecting. So from a relic point of view, you need to really think about where people have been, and what they've been doing there over a period of time. So a good way to do that is obviously the Oz at War, if you're into war relics. Oz at War lists every military base in Australia that's ever been. And then, of course, Trove. Trove is every newspaper ever published in Australia. So, so there are a couple of places. Oh, books are fantastic. There's stacks of places to get information. So, for instance, you might go into a book and see Cobb and Co in the Gippsland or something, right? That's a great book to buy at a second-hand shop. So, yes. Yes, it's like people say it's pretty dry in Browns Plains. It's not dry in Browns Plains considering compared to a lot of the country. And my life doesn't. No one here in Brisbane's livelihood depends on rain. So as much as what it does out in some of those farmers out in the bush. So yes. So Greg just asked, can you PM me? Probably, Greg, if I remember it. It can be a bit difficult to remember all these things, but anyway, yep. Right, so what else is happening here? I'm so excited about that nugget hunt up in Queensland's own nugget hunt. Awesome. So yes. Right. I just want to touch quickly on what time is it. So guys, in about 10 minutes time, we're just going to, I believe the guys, in about 10 minutes they're going to do the gold snitch draw. So if you want to get on that Facebook page, you probably need to do it now. But that draw is happening in about 10 minutes time. So get on there if you want to get involved in that. So what else we got? Yeah, like the rain in Brisbane, like Brisbane is, it's had a little bit of rain. Who cares? It's Brisbane. If the grass dies, the grass dies. It's out in the bush there that those people, like out at Warwick there at the moment. I have never seen Warwick as dry as what it is. Thames Creek, like I've never seen that Fossicking area really quite as bone dry as what it is now. There is just nothing there. No water, no nothing. Still black snakes everywhere, but but yes, the further west you go, the worse it gets, and it's horrible out there. So there is Fossicking areas. People are just asking here where there's Fossicking areas. There's Fossicking areas all across the country. Like Brisbane, there's from Brisbane you go Warwick. There's a stack west of Warwick. There's 17,000 hectares west of Warwick. Gympie, Claremont, there's places everywhere. So, right. What other questions have we got? So, yes, don't forget to share. Here's tonight's prize. So here's tonight's prize, gold pan kit. It'll go out in the morning. Well, actually, it'll go out in the afternoon, but it'll go out tomorrow. So if you share tonight's live stream, we'll draw that in about 20 minutes' time at the end of this live stream, and we will. And yeah, you can win a gold pan kit. So yes, so do that before we run out of daylight. So yes, right. So entries into the Gold Snitch comp are finished. So we'll get a we'll get a entry. I'll get a text message with the name of that, who won that. So yes, so we'll wait for that. Right, and yes, everyone's talking about here, buy a bale, help the farmers out. Absolutely. All these people are doing it really, really tough. 100% of New South Wales is drought declared. Western Queensland's all drought declared. So yes, so buy a bale if you can afford it. Go and help out. You can even, I think, you can buy gold nuggets that are being donated on some of the pages to buy a bale, all that sort of. So get involved in that if you can. So, so does that mean Daniel? I am going out to Warwick sometime this week, but we haven't worked out what day I'm going out this week. So, but I will be out there this week at some stage. So, I've got. We've got some filming to do, so yeah, out there. So right, I believe you can put the gold snitch onto most machines. So yeah, people are asking about that. So okay, we haven't got that. We haven't got the winner of the gold snitch yet, but we will. So I just wanted to, we will interrupt that for that, interrupt my little next speech. So if you're anything like me and have got little kids, you are best to, if you're wanting to take them out detecting, or you want to take them out through, for gold prospecting and what have you, my suggestion would be, so they need to be finding stuff very, very frequently. You can't, you cannot go out for 3 hours out to the goldfields where it's hot and dry with kids and not find anything. You have to be finding stuff. And for the kids, it doesn't matter whether you're finding bullet shells or boot nails, but you need to be finding stuff, right? I think that the gold, gold prospecting, unless you're panning and getting good colour, I think gold prospecting is the wrong thing to get the kids involved in metal detecting or prospecting. So, right, we'll interrupt this here. So Cameron Haig is the winner of the Gold Snitch booster. Well done, Cameron. Congrats, mate. You've got the Gold Snitch. They're going to contact you, Cameron. So well done. And yeah, well done, Cameron. So that's really good. Thanks very much, guys. So, yes, so make sure they find something. You are much better off going to the beach, right, and dropping a whole stack of coins, letting them find that. You're better off going to the park and, again, planting some stuff just to make sure that that they're finding something. If they're not finding anything, right, you're going to lose interest and they're not going to want to come with you, and that's the end of that. So if you stage it right, it can work out pretty well. The other thing to do is, if you're into gemstones, is to get them involved with gemstones. There tends to be, like my young bloke, he's not interested in metal detecting at all, although he'll drag a metal detector around with him. But you go out looking for gems. You're looking for pretty rocks. Oh my God, he just goes mad about that. I've got rocks everywhere. So yes. So yes. Tonight's stream is proudly sponsored by Monday Night Live. Richard says it's sponsored by Coke. So, yeah. Cameron, there you are. Nice. Congratulations, Cameron. Good to see you on the stream here. G'day, Kyla. G'day, Trisha. Everyone's here. So good. Right, so just to remind everyone, we're going to draw the gold pen kit in about 15 minutes. I've got one more thing to touch on here with beginning detecting, and then I'll go through and we'll find some questions. If you've got some questions, feel free to throw them at me and we can go from there. Right, so last thing I wanted to cover with beginning detecting is be safe, okay? The amount of people that I have over the years found wandering around in the bush going, I can't find my car. Still astounds me when I find people, because a lot of the areas have got a track all the way around it. They're not that big of paddocks, and I don't understand. But, so, be safe. If you're going a long way away from the car, take a GPS with you. Take a personal locator beacon if you're at all not confident. I carry a snake bite kit with me all year round. So, for instance, out at Thanes Creek there a couple of weeks ago was full of black snakes. Okay, now it's the middle of winter. No black snakes around. In my pouch was a snake bite kit if I got tagged. Always tell someone where you're going and what time you're leaving the bush. So my wife knows if I'm going out prospecting, she knows that at 4 o'clock, if she hasn't heard from me, she pushes the button. So, and she rings someone and says, something's happened, and I make sure I am out of the bush at 3:30. No matter what happens, I get out of there and ring her and say, even if I say I'm going to be an hour later, I still get out. So, yes. So that's an important thing to do. So, if you've got someone safe, your backup, that's always a great thing. And it's never much fun by yourself. So I like to go out with other people. So, snake chaps are another good thing. Hat, plenty of water, particularly in summer. It can knock you around. It can really knock you around. And before you know it, you're dehydrated and you're in strife. So, Peter, so people are asking me about stuff I sell here. So, yes, wear gaiters. I wear snake. Oh, I forget what they call them now. But they're actually. I wear a gaiter that's actually a. It comes up just below my knee, and it's used by the snake handlers. So, I think if the snake handlers are using it, it's probably a pretty good gear. And like I walked in the middle of winter on a cold day, I walked into a creek gully that had a splash of water in the bottom of it, and we saw 4 black snakes in an area the size of a postage stamp. So I almost stood on one, not expecting in the middle of winter there to be a snake kicking around. So yeah, so you're best to play it on the safe side, wear the chaps, snake gaiters, you're best to have them, So I'm wearing them more and more in winter because it seems there's more and more snakes out and about in winter. So Keith makes a point. He's never seen a snake while detecting out in the Golden Triangle. Keith, you should come up to Queensland, mate. We've got some good snakes up here. We've got some really good snakes up here. So but anyway, that's good on you. Right, so let's so I'll just scroll through here. There was a couple of questions there I wanted to cover. One things we're going to do as well, I'm starting to build up a bit of a list of what's happening in places. So next week's show is, I've done this once before and it was fairly popular. I'm going to bring all of my gear in and hope that my wife isn't watching, but I'm going to bring all of the gear in that I use, all the detectors that I use, diggers, sand scoops, everything that I use, and I'm going to go through it all just to give you a bit of an idea of what I use and what I take with me and all that sort of stuff. So that's next week's show. We're going to do what gear do I use and what do I suggest you take with you as a minimum. So that would be lots of kids bringing rocks home to show Dad, and my young bloke does the same thing. He's still in nappies. What he does is he tucks them in his nappy. So you get him home in the afternoon and you change his nappy and all these rocks fall out. It's like, oh, jeez, you know. But anyway, that's my young bloke. It's he's been corrupted by his father, I think. But but lots of kids bring home rocks. So what I'm actually going to do, and I saw this on a Facebook page the other day, is for my young bloke, I've got a little area there that the grass doesn't grow, and I'm going to put a bit of framing around it, timber framing around it, and I'm trying to find somewhere where I can get, a ute load of like sapphire wash or something like that. And I'm actually just going to dump it in there, and I'll get the young bloke to go through and pick out the pretty rocks. So okay, right. So we've got our draw happening in about 7 minutes' time. So you've got about 7 minutes to go into the entry to win the gold pan kit, proudly brought to you by the wonderful people at Gold Diggers Metal Detectors, which happens to just be me. But yes, gold pan kit, tonight's show. Share it. You don't have to share it to a group. You can share it to a friend, right? Tag a friend, right? And happy days. So we'll draw that in about 7 minutes' time, guys. So yes. So right. Yes, Michelle, I will need to bring a truck to bring all my gear. It is a bit of an addiction. So yes. Israel asked about a fines pouch. I'm in two mines, okay, and I use two different. I'll show you next week, but I use two different fines pouches. I actually use a bum bag for one. It's got a water bottle holder in it, but I use a bum bag for one, and I use a traditional fines pouch for other stuff. Like, say, for instance, the bum bag's good when you're out in the bush, out chasing gold, because you're not really picking up a lot of big stuff. Whereas you go down the beach, right, a bum bag's no good. You need a bigger fines pouch so you can put a, you know, if you find a Coke can, you can put it in there. So, yes. So people asking how you enter. You have to share this live stream in the next 5 minutes, and I will bring up the shares and I will get the randomizer out, and we will randomly select who's here. We'll randomly select who wins the prize. Simple as that. So, yeah. Right, so we may as well get that loading while we're there. So, okay, so yeah. So, yeah, like people are saying here that this fines pouch is rubbish and this is good and this is, you know, it's each to their own. Like, what I hate is what other people will love. There's no doubt about that. So, but I'll show you. I'll show you everything I use next week. Yes. So, Mark Big Ted Nocta. How accurate are the discriminations? So, VLF machines, the discriminations are normally fairly accurate when you've got the target out of the hole. Yeah, so yes, it's yeah, so depending on what I'm looking for, if I'm out in the goldfields, I virtually don't use the discrimination on any machine at all. I dig every target that's a repeatable signal. So if I get a noise in one direction, I can come 90 degrees and get a noise in the other direction. I'll dig every target. If I'm looking for relics and coins and stuff in the park, sure, I'll use a discrimination on it. But it's just horses for courses sort of thing. So, yeah. Right. So we've still got a couple of minutes. Right. Where did I see that? Someone said here. What was that? Lisa asked a question here. If the bottom of the detector's scuffed up, will it affect the reading? Depends on what machine you've got, or what coil you've got. A lot of coils are potted, so imagine, here we go, so imagine there's a lid off my fly repellent stuff, which has got all over me now, but imagine if that's your coil. What a lot of coils will happen is they'll lay the cabling in the bottom of the coil, they'll pour resin over the top of it, right, which they call a potted coil it is, and then that's the layer. So when you're detecting your coils that way up, you need to rub through a lot of the area, a lot of the thickness before you actually get to the metal, the wiring. So normally it won't affect things unless you're really starting to rub it away. If you're starting to rub it away, you really should be looking after it a little bit more. So, because you want to rub the coil, you want the coil as close to the ground as you can. So I put coil protectors on all of mine, and I rub it hard on the rocks, as close to the ground as I can get it. So, so that's how I run it. Right, so let's have a look here and see. Let's run the randomizer. We've gone 8:30 here in Brisbane, so we'll run the randomizer and we'll pick out the winner of tonight's gold pan kit. We're also still, I believe, looking for Stephen. Stephen, I sent you a message. I'm going to send you out the pay dirt. for tonight's video. So make sure you look at your message, Stephen. So because I've got that there for you as well. Right. Is it 8:30 yet? What time is it? Yes, it's just gone 8:30. So I'll run the randomizer. Tonight's prize, the gold pan kick, goes to Tim. Where are you from, Tim? I don't know, but Tim, I will contact you straight after the show. I will get this out to you tomorrow. So congratulations, Tim. Yes, so well done, mate. Thanks for sharing it, and love your work. So, someone said, how much is that pay dirt? So pay dirt comes in a few different sizes. That's like an $8 bag. We don't send them out because it, by the time I posted it costs money. So I think there's a $25 bag, a $70 bag, $130 bag, and then there's a big giant bag that's like like $200 and something. So yeah, so that's the pay dirts. They're all available on our website. So go onto the website if you're looking for pay dirt. I have stacks of them in stock ready to go. So yes, that's pay dirt. So next week is my confession. What gear I've got, and yes, so so I will lay bare exactly. I will empty the ute and show you exactly what's in my ute, what goes into my ute, what sluices I use, all that sort of thing. Good night, Dylan and Emily. You need to go to bed, guys. You got school tomorrow, I hear. So yes, so off to bed. Thanks, guys. And g'day to Damo and Bodell, and Graham's here and Sean's here. So, okay, so next week's show, I will see you then. It's my confessional. Let's hope my wife isn't watching. And yes, so, and if you've got any questions, feel free to contact me through the week. The number's on the website. You can just pick up the phone and ring me anytime. So, so yes, feel free to do that at any stage. Okay, guys, thanks very much.